Updates from Gaza are still critical. According to Israeli troops, Hamas has reinforced a new defense line within Gaza. Iranian forces form the defensive line on the right, while Yemeni infantry holds the left flank. As the Israeli army approaches the center, Hamas men carry rifles. However, the adversary's plan has a drawback. Iran, as is generally known, has begun war preparation. The Iranian army must finalize its ideas. According to words made by Iranian President Ibrahim Rai, the conflict will result in Israel's defeat. Following this announcement, Iranian tanks stationed in Syria pushed toward Israel's border. If Iran is to overcome Israel, it must destroy all U.S. bases in the region. That is why Iran has directed Hezbollah, the group it controls, to increase its strikes on American targets in Syria, and Iraq. Hezbollah militants target U.S. military positions with missiles and drones. Both the White House and the Pentagon have stated that the U.S. military will respond to the strikes. The United States will send nearly 70,000 troops to the attack zones. If the U.S. sends troops to the Middle East, the war between Israel and Hamas could expand into a regional fight. Iran wants to strike revenge on the U.S. following the death of General Qasem Soleimani in 2020. Soleimani was an important figure in Iran's Middle Eastern strategy. Soleimani's command of both Iranian forces and covert forces deployed overseas was essential to Iran's rise to prominence in the Middle East. The U.S. Army defeated Soleimani after his more than 40 years of devotion to Iran. Soleimani, who held a strong anti-Israel stance, was in charge of authorizing many strikes on the Jewish state. Yemen will soon see a massive conflict. The Houthis have gained control of a chunk of Yemen with the assistance of Iran. The Houthis will take over Israel's major cities. They believe that if the Houthis take Israeli cities, Israel will desire peace. According to this plan, the Houthis launched missile attacks against a number of Israeli cities. Hundreds of soldiers attempted to invade Israeli cities. U.S. forces stationed in the region successfully intercepted the missiles. Houthi forces fight border guards on a daily basis. The Houthis, who present themselves as civilians but carry weapons, are occasionally able to cross the border. These troops are on the lookout for Israeli nationals as they cross the border. The attacks have resulted in the deaths of several innocent Israeli people. Israel effectively disproved the enemy's idea that it could build a formidable defense in Gaza. Tanks from Israel successfully crossed the Ar's border crossing into Gaza. Israel quickly annihilated the 20,000 Hamas soldiers stationed in northern Gaza. After capturing control of northern Gaza, Israel proceeded into the city's heart. The Israeli army raised an Israeli flag in the heart of Gaza City. Israel began tunnel operations in this area. Israeli special forces killed thousands of hostile combatants who had sought refuge in the tunnel. We go into more depth about these activities in other videos on our channel. Please also take a look at our other videos. The Israeli army's current strategy is to retake Dar al-Balah from the enemy. The Israeli Prime Minister's office stated that Hamas is holding a substantial number of detainees in this location. According to recent estimates, Hamas is keeping roughly 500 Israelis hostage. During the combat in North Gaza and Gaza City Center, the enemy captured 30 Israeli soldiers. It is not clear where the Israeli forces are located at this minute. As mentioned earlier, Iranian and Yemeni forces stand on either side of the Gaza defense. On the other hand, the adversary fails to take into account two crucial aspects: the Menar and Shelia regions. As soon as the combat began, the Israeli government gained control of these districts. On the right side of the Gaza City Center, Israel began a breaching operation from these two locations, and then proceeded to split Gaza in half all the way to the sea. This operation's primary objective was to stop the enemy from sending aid to North Gaza, which was the target of the operation. In spite of the fact that they had taken control of the surface level, hostile forces continued to make deliveries through the tunnels. As a result of Israeli Special Forces personnel breaking through the tunnels, Hamas soldiers in northern Gaza were able to leave the area and make their way towards the city center. Help has been unable to reach enemy soldiers in the central part of Gaza City because the Israeli Army, which controls the Minar and Shuan neighborhoods, has blocked it from reaching them. Israel was successful in capturing 50% of Gaza. As a result of this, the Israeli army took control of two strategically significant locations, driving back the enemy. The Israeli army freed the territory from Hamas forces at Gaza harbor. If you want to make sure that you don't miss a single video from our team, including breaking news and unique reporting on the Israeli conflict, you should subscribe to our channel, like some of our videos, and hit the super thanks button. We are currently still engaged in combat at sea. Over the course of the weekend, the Houthis of Yemen carried out the threats that they had made the previous week. They launched ballistic missiles and kamikaze drones against Israel. As the conflict broke out, an Iranian-backed militia stormed a cargo ship as it was getting ready to set sail from the Red Sea to the Arabian Sea with the intention of transporting goods. Israel has confirmed that there were no Israelis on board the vessel that was involved in the incident that occurred in the Red Sea on Sunday. Officials from Tel Aviv stated that Japanese operators were reportedly operating the ship, which was owned by a British business. The Israeli state statement stated that Iran was directly responsible for the seizure of the ship, which was the most startling aspect of the situation. Iranian terrorist attack was the description that Israel gave to the occurrence. Iran has denied any involvement in the seizure of the Galaxy Leader spacecraft, which occurred today. The Houthis have repeatedly threatened to attack any vessel flying the Israeli flag or operated by Israelis in the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the waterway connecting the Red Sea to the Sea of Ang. Rory Challens from Alzer's Jerusalem Bureau has connected the attack by Hamas on October 7th with the detention of the ship and rockets fired from Lebanon by Hezbollah. According to Israeli officials believe that the missiles were an indication that Iran was attempting to deploy its proxy army. The rain is falling once more in Gaza at the same time, which is the 45th day that the conflict has been going on. Because of the rain and storm, the already challenging situation for the Palestinians, who are seeking shelter in tents, has become even more severe. About 1.5 million Palestinians fled their homes in Gaza due to the rain and storm that occurred on October 7th. There are still 2.3 million people stuck there, according to estimates. Evacuees sought refuge in tents located in the southern region of Gaza. Tent campers should expect to experience rainstorms and a general trend toward cooler temperatures this week. Although they are already on the field, teams from the United Nations have reported that the condition of the tents has deteriorated to the point where they are unlivable. Recently, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, UNRWA, which is responsible for providing aid to Palestinian refugees, made the following statement on social media. People have no choice. Success for humanity is of the utmost importance. You will be able to ensure that you do not miss any of the videos that our team has created by subscribing to our channel, watching our videos, and clicking the Super Thanks button. That is located below. It is highly probable that these documentaries will incorporate first-person accounts and current events about the situation in Israel.